I'm a state certified driving instructor, teach adults and teens. I'm going to go ahead and get into this information. Okay, guys, I want to go ahead and welcome you in. I want to go over information to help you become a great driver. This is the course information. Let's review it. Then we'll have you guys do a question and answer for me. You got a state certified driving instructor. So we know mirrors are really important, right? Anytime your speed or position adjustment is necessary, the driver must consider what is the location. Is the car near you, behind you, in front of you? You got to look, right? If you're going faster, you want to make sure no one is near you. While a vehicle's in motion, mirror usage is intended to assist. The mirrors are optical illusions. They don't tell you how fast the car is going. They don't tell you the exact location. Okay, so we don't have smart mirrors yet, but that is something that could be coming. Drivers cannot afford to divert attention away from the path ahead of you. When you guys drive today, tomorrow, you got to just relax. Focus on the space in front of you. Take your time. When stopping, anytime you stop or slow down, you need to check your rearview mirror. You'll get marked down if you don't do that. Check the mirrors quickly and allow for extra space ahead, increasing the ability to steer. A lot of beginners have difficulty learning space reference. They stop too late, almost hitting a car. They stop too early, 4, 5, 6 cars away. It takes time. This is a brand new experience. It's like we're asking you to identify the topography of a downtown area. Some turns are really tight. Some turns are really wide. Sometimes you have a huge roundabout. Sometimes you'll have a small roundabout. You will hit curves, but you can't keep hitting curves because you'll damage your driver's ed car. You'll fail your test, okay? And then eventually you're going to be backing into your parents' driveway. You don't want to sideswipe your parents' car. You don't want to get on your neighbor's grass, okay? You don't want to hit the mailbox. I'm giving you some examples. When the driver prepares to turn, mirrors should be checked before any speed or position is made, meaning a bike could be beside you to the right, okay? It's called the right hook. Where you make a right turn, you don't look, you literally crush someone. The left cross, if someone is riding their bike across your face to your left, if you don't look, you'll run them over. So all of you ride bikes, and we have some information on e-bikes too, and interactive quizzing. Okay, so you're changing lanes, mirror, turn signal, blind spot. I need you to be putting questions in, put a Q and a question for me into the chat. Again, this needs to be an interactive class. Put a question in for me. Please don't say, well, how do I drive? Have you been in a crash? Put a question in the chat for me on what I'm going over. They need to be different questions. You want an interactive class? You have to bring the energy, okay? Match my energy. Checking blind spots. I had a student yesterday. She looked too long. The car veered off the road to the right. I had to turn the wheel back. It's just a quick glance. All of you will be nervous when you drive. You're going to get used to your instructor. It takes about 3 drives to get used to the car, used to the instructor. I haven't looked at the questions yet, but I will. Checking mirror blind spot areas. You have to do it by looking over your shoulder to the left, looking over your shoulder to the right. You have to look and check. Blind spots, there are 4, left side, right side, front and back. All cars, all trucks have blind spots, okay? You have to look. A minor blind spot check involves making a quick eye movement over the shoulder. Boom, quick. Boom, quick. Not turning the wheel and going into the ditch and scaring everyone. Traditional mirror settings, bigger trucks, SUVs, vans are bigger. So they have different mirror settings. A school bus has different mirror settings. A semi-truck has different mirror settings. Again, put questions in. Enhanced mirror settings. Some mirrors have a glass at the bottom that allows more viewing area. Those mirrors do help, but you still have to look. The inside mirror becomes the primary mirror. Your rear mirror is your primary mirror. I could put together a quizzing on mirrors. And if you're listening, you'll get an A. If you're not listening, you won't. I have 3 quizzes interactive. You're going to have to watch a video. You have 5 questions, 7 questions. We want to make this class more dynamic. I'm going to pause to ask your questions. How do you adjust your mirrors correctly? Elizabeth, we already went over that. And please be honest, Elizabeth, you tell me how you adjust your mirrors. You look straight ahead. You frame the rear window in the mirror. You want to see a little bit of the sidecar. Guys, I want to keep you accountable. If I want you at a higher level, we already went over how do you adjust your mirrors correctly. How long is a quick glance? A second. Bam. Second. Second. That's a quick glance. Like you're getting a quick sip of Kool-Aid, a quick sip of a Taki. Okay? You guys know these fundamentals. But if you want to become smarter, you got to ask higher level questions. We know how to adjust a mirror correctly. It says it right in the text, okay? It says it right in the text. We went over this. It says mirror usage, okay? When stopping, you should already know. This is the mirror usage fact sheet. So develop a better question for me, Elizabeth. That would really be helpful to the development of the class. Do you have to check your rearview mirror even when you are slowing down or stopping? Hold on. Do you have to check your rearview mirror even if you're not slowing down or stopping or turning? Peyton, you should always check your rearview mirror. What if someone is speeding? What if someone is brakes are out? You always need to look. My job is to give you wisdom. That's what your teacher does, your coach does, your principal does, your parents. Always check your mirror. Because someone could be spinning out of control. Someone could be on a bike and they don't have brakes. So always check your mirror. A lot of beginners just focus in the front. That's all they look at. There's a whole world to your left and a whole world to your right. Do you have to check your rearview mirror? Okay, we already answered that. Let's go to the next question. How do I tell if a truck driver can't? You look at their face. You check your mirror. When you're driving, you need to make visual contact with pedestrians, with drivers in cars, with pedestrians. You're going to learn that Thursday. If you don't make eye contact, then you're going to run into someone or they're going to run into you. Make eye contact. We have two eyes, and half of your visual assessment is such as visual acuity. How clearly do you see? If you don't see really well, on your license, you're going to have restricted license. Drivers wear corrective lenses. A third of you have glasses on. So if you don't see well, you're going to have that restriction. So you have to always look. A lot of these questions are DOK level 1. What is the difference between mirror settings? You see different angles, Aiden. The one behind you, Aiden, I like that question. Aiden, you look straight ahead. You see everything behind you. That's your central mirror setting. To the left, you see everything to the left of the car. To the right, you see everything to the right of the car. You have 3 mirrors. One for behind you, one to the left, one to the right. Aiden, I like that. And all of those mirrors together give you kind of a visual reference. It's not perfect. I could stand in your blind spot. Your mom or dad could stand in your blind spot to your left or right. You won't even see us. I'll say it again. There are blind spots. I could stand on the left side of the car in your blind spot. You won't even see me. Your mom and dad could stand on the right. Your pet could be in the front of the car, the blind spot. Your grandmother could be behind you in the blind spot. So that becomes real. So if you don't understand that, you're going to end up back into a car, cutting off a car, running into things. So Aiden, I thought your question was the most simplest, but I thought it was the most effective. Okay, we need more questions. Let's keep going. Okay, how often do I need to check the mirrors? The reference terminal says every 8 to 15 seconds. Okay, you have to look around, but a lot of beginners don't do that. You're focused on keeping the car straight, looking down at the speedometer, looking at your hands. No, I have not been in a crash grift, but I've been in the ditch because beginning drivers hug the right. Gentleman, 3 football players hugged the right side of the road. He kept hugging the right. He overturned. We veered to the left. I had to correct back. We went into the ditch. So the answer is I've been in the ditch, no crash. How often do I need to check for a bike on the road? Whenever you see a bike. So Noah, I'm giving you the perspective. If you see a bike, you've got to be aware. You have a halo 360 view mirror. I think eventually in the future, automotive manufacturers are going to have a 360 view mirror. You're going to have some type of mirror on the back of the car mounted. It's going to give you a 360 view. But that's not always accurate. You still have to look. I like the question, Noah. Thank you. How have you, okay, we already talked about that. Try to ask me a different question. There are about 5 questions that are the same. I have a few questions about Maggie. We'll talk about that later. So let's use class time for class information. Let's use driving toward the end of the class so I can make it more efficient. That's what good teachers do. They maximize everything. I have some great videos for you. So I'm just reviewing. There are about 3 questions that are the same. No, I have not been in a crash. How often do you need to check your mirrors? Every 8 to 12 to 15 seconds. Some people a little bit more nervous. Some people less casual, but you need to check your mirror, right? Have you ever been through a yard? No, I have not. We've been on the side of the grass because students don't have lane line reference, meaning you walking in high school, you walk into the locker every time you walk down the hallway because you don't have depth perception. So some of you are nearsighted, some of you are farsighted. That's a good question. Have you ever hit black ice on a road? Of course, Griff. We live in a cold weather climate. If it's cold in the morning, when you go to work, when you go to school in the wintertime, you have black ice. If there's ice on your car, ice on the hood, ice on the window, there's ice on the road. So you will have black ice. And you need to reduce your speed. You need to squeeze your brake. Griff, I like that question because that ties back into the curriculum, right? If you're taking your road test in the winter and it's below 32, you're going to have ice on the road. How long is too long? Over 5 seconds. If you look in the mirror over 5 seconds, you're going to crash because you're going to drift off the road. It's just a quick glance. Boom. 1001, 1002, 1001, 1002, 1001. Boom. That. So anywhere from 1001 to 1003. If you go more than 1003 seconds, I like the questions. Okay. I like the questions. Going back reading for deeper. So we identify how long is too long. Okay. If a student starts to go off the road with the, if the student starts to go off the road, what does the instructor do? They don't talk. They turn the wheel. We need action. Because if you're going off the road, you've lost spatial orientation. You have panicked, and it happens. It's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to your mom. It's going to happen to your dad. It's going to happen to me. It happens to everyone because we have that momentary lapse. Okay? You're going to downtown Chicago, downtown Sheboygan, downtown Bay City, downtown Detroit, downtown Chicago. There are 100 people. You lose focus. The light just turns yellow. You see the people, you run through the light and hit someone. That's a typical scenario, right? So you want to calm down. Your instructor should just turn the wheel or squeeze the brake. Every situation is different. Have you ever been in a crash because mirrors? No, we sideswiped a car. A young lady broke a mirror. Why? Didn't look. So you have to, remember, driving is a multitask. I love your questions, so let's keep going. Okay, that was good. That was solid. Let's keep going. Basic maneuvers. There's 2 basic ways to turn the steering wheel. Hand over hand and push pull. Let's review again. There are 2 basic ways to turn the steering wheel. Hand over hand. Hand over hand is good for sharp turns, right turns, or left turns. I gave you an example. Skid recovery. You're driving, black ice, you lose control, skid recovery. Skid recovery. Okay? I gave you 3 examples. Next, push pull. This is good for driving around curves, changing lanes. Okay? When the driver push and pulls the steering wheel in order to slide it through their hands. So remember, we're geared toward our state driving test. Everything is geared toward the test. I have the clipboard. I have the information. I have the information right here. I have everything you need. You should be leaning into me. Okay? So it says you need steering. Uses balance, 8 and 4 or 9 and 3. Hand over hand, hands position on the steering wheel. You can fail your test or driving with one hand. You have to have both hands. But what if I'm tired? You have to hold the steering wheel. We don't have self-driving cars in the fleet yet. Okay? Uses proper hand positioning when backing. Uses push-pull steering when effectively. Uses hand over hand when appropriate. So I'm looking at what the information is for your state driving test. Let's get questions, hand over hand and push-pull. Please, I'm giving you examples. Okay? Examples. The speed of the vehicle is controlled by the pressure. If you go too fast, the car will lunge forward. You'll lose points. If you go too slow, the car will veer out of the lane. This is some quick questions. You get to put a Q in a question, hand over hand, and push pull. I'm going over it again real quick. Look, this approach is particularly well suited when speeds of the steering input is critical. Sharp turns, skid recovery, or making maneuvers in an area with limited sight lines, such as parking. You're going to use hand over hand in parallel parking. You're going to use hand over hand when backing into your parents' driveway. You're going to use hand over hand in angle parking when you go to your high school. Okay? Let's go to questions real quick. Let's keep it going in. I have a lot for you. I have 3 videos all set. You guys are going to love this. You watch the video. It's got questions. I have adverse weather conditions. This is going to be your best class yet. And of course, we're going to go over your stuff. Let's keep going. How many blind spots are there? We already talked about that. How many blind spots? All cars have 4. Left side, right side, front and back. It doesn't care if it's a Corvette, a Mustang, a Trackhawk, a Hellcat. All cars have 4 blind spots. The electric vehicles have cameras on the fenders, left side, right side, front and back. Okay? That helps. You still need to look. I love the question about taking it up to the electric vehicle, but also we had training last year about electric vehicles. Okay? You always have to look. I like that. Phoebe, you're starting to develop higher level thinking questions, but at the same time, remember your basic premise. Cars have blind spots. You have to look. What if the camera on the electric car, any car, is dirty? Example, my daughter and I did DoorDash a couple of days ago. It was raining. She was backing out. She's like, Dad, hold on. I'm like, girl, what you doing? I got to wipe off the backup camera. I'm like, what? She got out. She used her shirt. She wiped off the camera. Boom. It was crystal clear. I'm like, girl, you go. So you got to remember, there's dirt and grit, oil, rain, snow. When you drive, your headlights get a film of dirt and grit. When you drive, your brake lights get a film of dirt and grit. When you're driving, your mirrors get a coating of dirt and grit. That's like someone throwing dirt and grit and mud in your eyeball, literally. I love that example. You can't see. Your eye waters to flesh that out. Okay, so whenever you get gas, what should you be doing? You get that squeegee, you get some windshield washer solvent, you clean that front window from the top down to the bottom, you clean your back window, you clean your side windows, you clean your mirrors, your headlights, your tail lights, you got a new car. But if you don't do that, you're looking through a dirty window and less visibility. Have you ever drifted out to the... Jax, beginning drivers do that all the time. Why? Because you don't have spatial orientation. Not you, Jax, but all of you. You're a beginning driver. You don't have spatial orientation. You don't have visual reference. You don't have lane line reference. So you're going to be all over the road, beginning drivers. So the question is, have beginning drivers been all over? Their answer is, Jax, yes. So Jax, if you stare at the speedometer, what you're going to do when you start driving, you're going to veer off the road to the left. The instructor's going to say, Jax, what are you doing? I don't know. And you're going to keep looking down the speedometer. And then the instructor's going to turn the wheel. And then you're going to feel like they took over your power. Yes, Jax. And then, Jax, you're going to look at your hands when you turn the wheel. You're going to crash into the curb or hit another car. So, Jax, beginning drivers, let's review, look at their hands. They don't look at the road. Beginning drivers look at the speedometer. They don't look at the road. Beginning drivers look at their feet. They don't look at the road. So, Jax, with that and your fear and nervousness and anxiety, Jax, it spells disaster. On mirrors, it says objects in mirror may appear closer. Remember, Bryce, mirrors only give you a visual reference. Your mirrors don't say, semi-truck is 17 feet away. Your mirrors don't say, semi-truck is 1 foot away. Your mirrors give you a visual reference. So you don't really know how close or far. And we looked at this yesterday. You, as a beginner driver, can't tell how far something is away. As a car speeds past you, their brake lights get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. When you're coming up to your street sign, you need to be looking at it 1/4 of a mile, 1/8 of a mile, 3 or 4 blocks away. Now you turn on your left blinker or your right blinker. you need to turn your blinker a quarter of a block before your street. So Jax, I like the question. So to answer, beginning drivers don't judge distance properly. Is it better to be near-sighted or far-sighted? Maggie, first, I love the question. Thank you, Maggie. Maggie, God has given us what God has given us. Maggie, whatever God gives you, you get a good ophthalmologist, your eye doctor. He or she will use a machine, and there's a great video. He or she will use a machine to see where your eyes are. They'll make a custom lens for you. So Maggie, what I would say is get the best corrective lenses or glasses that look nice for you, that are comfortable, and wear them. A lot of beginning drivers are embarrassed to wear glasses. So when they drive with their instructor, they're all over the road. So Maggie, I answered your question. Get a good ophthalmologist that can make your vision as best as possible. I had students who have 20/20 in one eye and they're almost blind in the other eye. Okay. Astigmatism means you can't focus. If I'm wrong, forgive me. I know you'll blow me up in the comments. If someone has a restricted license for bad eyesight, are they not allowed to drive unless they have their Yes. So look, no one's going to be the micromanaged police. Oh, Phoebe, you forgot your glasses. You can't drive. Phoebe, let's just say Phoebe, if you don't have your glasses and you can't see, you're going to hurt yourself, Phoebe. Let's say it again. Well, I didn't mean me, but if a driver knows they can't see, why are you not wearing your glasses? You're going to drive off a mountain. You're going to go into the river. You're going to go into the ditch. You're going to have an accident. So that's that common good, Phoebe. Rules are here for the common good. And if you don't wear your glasses or a driver doesn't wear their glasses and they crash, it's their fault. Let's just keep it clear, right? You know you're supposed to wear glasses. Oh, that driver, I love it. What steering method do you primarily use? Noah, I use both. Noah, if I'm doing parallel parking, and Noah, we did this yesterday. Noah, if I'm parallel parking, I'm turning hand over hand. I'm getting the rear of my car in by the curb, and I'm turning back hand over hand. Boom, I got a perfect parallel parking. People are like, Noah, if I'm going around a curve or a roundabout, I'm doing push-pull, Noah. I'll say it again, Noah. If I'm doing parallel park, I want to get my car in 12 inches or less away from the curb. I don't want to have my car out. I'm doing hand over hand. If I'm backing in my driveway, I'm doing hand over hand. That's a tight space maneuver. If I'm going around a roundabout, I'm using push-pull. If I'm going over a curve, I'm using push-pull. My students were driving on I-94 yesterday, long curve, push-pull. If we do hand over hand, they're going to throw the car and we're going to skid into the ditch. I love the questions. Your questions are getting better. Is hand over hand difficult for beginners? Both are different, Bryce, because what you're going to do is just reach over. You're going to over grab the wheel and then you're going to jerk to the right or jerk to the left. You need to learn both. And what I do, it's like you guys are driving with me yesterday. We go to high school parking lots. I have my students drive around the light post, figure 8. It teaches you to turn your head and look. Turn your head and look. You see what I'm doing? I teach you to turn your head and look. Turn your head and look. You've got to learn those fundamentals. And if you don't, you won't be able to literally turn the wheel, right? So your instructor, day one, we go around the school 3 or 4 times. We go into a neighborhood making 12 right turns, 12 left turns. We go on the road. If I want you to elevate, I'm taking you to an area that forces you to turn hand over hand. Okay? So I use both. Okay, we talked about that. What is your opinion of people who use one hand to steer? Oh, they could crash. You know what? I'm not the micromanaged police. If you want to drive with one hand and you get tired, then you'll drift off the road. So look, I love it. I'm not the steering wheel police. I know for your road test, you don't have both hands on the wheel, you're going to be deducted. I'm not your hand wheel, steering wheel, hand over hand, push, pull, one hand, one knee police. So I don't worry about that, right? And let's keep it real. It's like you don't come to class. You know, driver said this at a certain time. You're running in the hallway. You're downstairs. The class starts. I lock the door. You're late. I'm not letting you in. Okay? So I don't worry about that. Keep it real. What method do you use? I already talked about that, Peyton. A right turn is a 90 degree. I had a great math teacher. 90-degree turns. Right turn, hand over hand. Left turn, hand over hand. 90-degree turns. I love it. But you're kind of asking the same question. I had a good math teacher. Are there other effective steering? Are there other effect steering that is hand over hand or push pull? Because when you drive, you have two wheels. A lot of beginners go too slow in their turn. This overloads the back tires and you spin out. What's your methods do you most recommend first time? Both, hand over hand and push pull. You in your school parking lot, you're going to drive around. You're going to look where you're going. You are parking in a school parking lot. Push pull. You're going to a roundabout, push pull. You're making a right turn into your school parking lot, hand over hand. Okay, you will learn. Some of you will turn too slow, too fast. I love the question. It's difficult to decide. You haven't learned. So Elizabeth, I want you to change your brain setting. I'm gonna give you an update. I just updated your iPhone. I just updated your Android. You will learn which method to use. You're in driver's education. Elizabeth, you're asking the right questions. You will learn what to do. This is why you're in driver's education. You will learn when hand over hand is good, when push pull is good. And if you have a good instructor, they'll bring that energy in. If a student driver breaks the law, crashes, it's your fault. Griff, if you crash, I'm not driving, you're driving. If you run a light, hit someone, it's your fault. You're the driver. It's not the instructor's fault. Let's just keep it simple. What do you do when skidding? I heard, okay, you turn into the direction of the skid to straighten out the car. I like the questions. Okay, type takeaway and what you learned. Again, type takeaway and what you learned. Do that right now. Take away what you learned. It's 9:02. Let's keep the energy going. I love what you guys are doing. You're getting into the nuances of steering, right? You're getting into the nuances of steering. This is the teachable moment. I got a bunch of things, so hopefully the computer doesn't crash. Be with me. Put in a takeaway and what you learned. I love it, guys. You're asking some really good questions. And I want you to feel safe. They are no dumb questions, but there were some repeat questions, right? You're going to learn 2 ways to turn that steering wheel. Hand over hand and push pull. I gave you some examples. We parallel parked yesterday, right? You're learning how to drive. You're learning space. It's like you walk in the hallway in high school. If you don't know how to walk straight, you're going to walk into the lockers, and juniors and seniors, you will have a problem, right? Put in what you learned, please. Please put that in. I'm just clicking on some information. I thought as we went along, and I'm painting the visual picture, you're going to learn. Your instructor will teach you. Your mom and dad taught you how to walk. They held your hand. Honey, put one foot in front of the other. Okay? If you run real fast down the steps, you're going to trip and fall. If you run real fast up the steps, you're going to trip and fall. I fell up the steps and I fell down the steps. If you don't know how to reverse and park in your driveway, you're going to hit your parents' car, or you're going to hit the garage door. If you don't know how to make a right turn, you're going to hit the curb or go in the wrong lane. You will learn quickly. You will. I like the questions. Keep going. And I ask you, because I got the videos ready, and I want us to keep going. So all these elements will make you better, will help you improve. And that's what it's really all about, improving all of your elements. Your elements are being comfortable in the car, having your mirrors adjusted properly, not being too close to the seat, not being far away from the seat, wearing comfortable shoes, asking good questions, but also keeping you accountable and having you understand that your instructor, you should be able to talk to your instructor, right? They should be like, don't talk to me, just drive. Like, my instructor said I can ask questions. Yes, ask questions. And as some of you went along, you're asking me more questions, and I'm giving you a high school example a young beginner driver example just to help you. I'm trying to look for something right now to show it to you, to help you, because I think it's the time. And yes, I got videos ready, but vision is the key. If you don't know what a stop sign is, 100 feet away, you're going to roll through the stop sign. If you can't identify your street from a block away, a quarter of a block away, you're going to run past your street. If you don't know you're in a school parking lot and you're going 10 miles an hour, you're going to run into someone. Visual recognition. I thought you did a great job.